girls mature faster, so they should be giving more positions of power and authority? No. Boys should be taught to look to them for guidance and leadership? No, but that's why older men are attracted to them. Oh my god. I never thought about it this way, but yeah, of all the reasons you could use this for, right? Like, of all the things, like, well, girls mature faster, so they're more responsible, so they should be better leaders, and they should, like, naturally gravitate towards those kind of roles. Because if you put, like, kids of the same age in, like, classes together, and the girls are maturer, then obviously, like, they're gonna be, like, the leaders and gonna influence the settings more. But no, you're not actually saying that girls are mature. You're just trying to excuse old men being creepy, which is absolutely amazing. Not really. No, what are you doing? Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some not how girls work and not how people work and weird things people say without actually meaning it. Should be fun, right? But anyways, you know the deal. Before we continue, you're gonna get hydrated. So grab some water or some tea or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. In the meantime, also feel free to like and subscribe. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Girls, looking at different Minecraft characters, now we can finally feel represented. All types of different boys from different backgrounds. Ah yes, this is literally me. Are you saying representation isn't important for men? Because I actually feel like you're insulting men more. To be like, well, you're making men, and men are actually also like making themselves seem easier than they actually are. Like, they like boiling themselves down to very simple things, and I always say women are more complicated when women are just more in touch with their emotions and are actually able to feel and able to express the wide variety of things they feel versus just suppressing everything and letting it boil up to anger. You know, that being said, representation is still important for everyone, no matter their gender, really. You know, so this is more not how boys work. Because girls appreciating if they do see themselves reflected somewhere is actually fairly how girls or women work. This dude's dating profile, he's 45, top attorney, top 1% income earner, provider, protector, king, looking for my queen, but she better be 100% pure, no prior sexual experiences, A+ in the kitchen, fluent in silence unless addressed, ready to obey and serve with a smile, virginity mandatory. In other words, he is looking for a sex bot who also cooks and cleans. Because this dude is 45. He's looking for someone who has no prior sexual experience, which in his age bracket should be fairly rare. Like, I feel like the people that haven't lost their virginity at that point are people who just generally don't have interest in sex and don't want to in general. Who are also not going to go for this, or who are probably not going to be on dating sites that much, you know? So he's probably looking for someone a lot younger than he is that he can manipulate and try to turn into a sex bot who cooks and cleans for him. That's not disturbing at all. You know, like, I'm kind of glad when people put out their red flags so openly, because then you can run away. But it's also kind of shocking that people feel this confident putting up dating profiles for everyone to see like this, you know? I grew up believing women had to fight twice as hard to earn respect in this business. Is this sports entertainment or OnlyFans? Evolution? embarrassment, not empowerment. Have you seen what male wrestlers wear? Like, they probably wear more clothes because in most sports they wear more clothes, but it's still very skin tight and revealing in a way. And just because you would be embarrassed to wear it doesn't mean they have to be. Because I think they're more focused on what they're doing versus what some random dude on the internet thinks of their outfits. Really. In the 90s, mileage 30 km, dignity yes, engine used like new, 4 kids with the same father. 1940s to 1999, AMA 2000, mileage 650,000 km, no dignity, engine beyond repair, 4 kids with 4 different fathers. This is 2000 to 2024. On today's episode of We Compare Women to Random Objects. You're a car. Your vagina is the engine, apparently. And what, like... If you don't want to date modern women, then don't. But don't cry about it on the internet and say, oh, all women are like this. All women nowadays are like this, because that's just ridiculous and not true. And also, I'm still confused. Like, for men, it is encouraged to sleep with a lot of different women. Like, that's kind of a macho thing to do. But how do you expect them to do that if women shouldn't be sleeping with people? Like, the math ain't mathing. If a guy is supposed to have a lot of sex, but women aren't supposed to, then the only option left is for him to have sex with other men. But you're also very against that, so how the math really ain't mathing. Why are women jealous when a man shows his foreign girlfriend? I've seen this a lot in my home country, Germany. Whenever a German man shows his foreign girlfriend, mostly like from Thailand or Brazil, in public or on social media, German women start to write negative comments like patriarchy still exists or other negative stuff. What is the reason for this negativity? I've seen it a lot recently in the German-speaking social media. Is this the same in the US or elsewhere? The same reason when Chinese cars entered the market, because they're destroying the market with cheaper cars that have more features. Women know you get a better deal outside there, so they're forced to bring more value. Just look at the way average German women age versus the ones you mentioned. They are threatening their options, and that makes them angry. The funny thing is that women hating on patriarchy should be happy for women having a better life or options, but they hate on foreign girls for the same. I will reuse that hilarious analogy. Okay, apparently comparing women to cars, more common than I was hoping it would be. Because apparently German women are German cars and foreign women are Chinese cars. What? I mean, listen, I am German. I have not seen this, but I'm also probably not on German social media that much. But what? Like, I can see people commenting on it if it's like a weird age gap, or if it just seems super random, or if they know this dude and they know he's super sexist and know he couldn't get German women anymore because German women figured out his bullshit, and that's why he had to go somewhere where no one knows him to like gaslight someone into liking him, basically, or like manipulate someone. So that I can see, but just generally hating on it just because someone got a girlfriend that isn't German, I find kind of hard to believe. I could see racism pop up. A lot, probably, but I what? Person on their period, you know what, no. Shoves their hand inside them, pulls out the uterus, wrings it out, plops it back in, and is suddenly not on their period anymore. I am telling you, every person who's ever had a period has probably wanted to do this at some point or the other. Because I know some people don't struggle with that period at all. Like, it's super quick for them. They don't hate it that much because they're not in pain. But a lot of people find it ranging from just kind of annoying to absolutely excruciating painful. So I think a lot of people who menstruate would love this feature of just like being able to pull it out, wring it out, and plop it back in. This would definitely be preferable and way quicker. When a woman touches me, a man, I am generally happy. But when I, a man, touch a woman, there's a chance it could be considered sexual assault, resulting in psychological scars such as PTSD, depression, among others. Well, that is not how this works. No woman is suddenly magically gonna develop PTSD if you touch them on the shoulder like this. But also, maybe it's a German thing. Like, I know in other cultures, touching each other is more normal. For Germans, it's already kind of not like the most common thing, right? So maybe that's why it seems weird for me to touch random people on their shoulder or something. But, you know, if you can't tell the difference between an appropriate touch and an inappropriate touch, maybe don't touch people at all, right? Like lightly hitting them, like not hitting them, but like touching them on their shoulder. If you like talking to them, if you're fairly close with them, or if you're trying to encourage them or something, fine. Playfully like slapping their shoulder lightly, depending on your relationship, maybe also fine. Inappropriately touching women, obviously not fine. But again, if you can't tell the difference between appropriate and inappropriate touch, maybe just don't touch people altogether. Girls are pencil sharpeners and boys are pencils. Is this supposed to be like an abstinence-only, encouraging type thing? Because the only thing I can think is if he enters her, it's gonna hurt him and shave his dick off, which A, sounds painful, and B, getting a smaller dick is not something most men want, you know? So, what? This is neither how girls nor boys work. It kind of really isn't. Someone's dream is someone's toy. And the funniest thing is that people love to be the toy, not the dream. Then let her be, she's not the one. These are one of the moments that build boys to men. True love is always hard, guys. Villains were made, not born. And the funny part is they love to get played, and then they will say it's trauma from the past. And then they turn around and say women are dramatic. Sure. This last picture specifically, so dramatic. So dramatic for like no reason. Like, yeah, it's not a secret that some people aren't great people and will literally just use other people instead of being honest about their intentions or actually wanting to form a genuine connection. Like, that's not a secret. But instead of being mad at, in this case, the other men who treat women like toys, you are mad at the women who are on the receiving end of being played and just want to turn it around and just be like, oh, no, but they enjoy being played. And then they would just like have a fun time and then say it's trauma. Like, that's not how people work. That's not how women work. And you're misogynistic because otherwise it would kind of click in your brain that maybe the people who are getting played aren't at fault. The people who consciously manipulate other people to use them, maybe they're the problem. Never marry a girl who has male friends, has multiple ex, dances on Instagram Reels, seeks attention from random men, thinks freedom is wearing revealing clothes. Freedom is a woman being able to do and wear what she wants. If she enjoys wearing skimpy clothing and dancing on Instagram Reel or TikTok or whatever, that's cool. If she prefers to garden and wear like what you would consider modest clothing, then doing that. Like, freedom is whatever she wants. And you can't go around and be like, no, but freedom means the same thing to everyone. And if you think you're free because you're able to wear skimpy clothes and dance, then that's not freedom and you're lying to yourself. Like, that's... Listen, if you don't want to marry someone who does these things, fine. But just going around and be like, no, but never marry a girl who, like, no one should marry these. Like, you're aware that some people aren't as insecure as you and don't care if their girlfriend has fun times uploading dance videos on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Like, some men would not care. High-value men like me would never date a loudmouth, opinionated wench like you. Oh no, an obnoxious stranger I'm not attracted to refuses to date me? My husband will be devastated. How will I tell my children? This is a nightmare. Oh, whatever, you weirdo. Don't go, we could be so miserable together. But literally this, where are these men trying to go? Like, are you just trying to make other people's days worse? To just be like, well, I'm just gonna, like, low-key insult you so that you're unhappy too, so I don't feel so bad that I'm unhappy? Literally, what are you doing? Again, you don't have to want to date someone. Anyone, really. But that doesn't mean that who this person is wrong. It just means they're not a great match for you. And if you don't like loud opinionated women, then don't date them. But some people like that. And the most important thing really is that they like themselves, not even that other people like them. But, you know, in terms of who you want to date, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to date someone, then don't. There is no difference between having sex with 36 men and having sex 36 times with one man. I'll put my own finger in a glass of water 30 plus times and still drink it. If 30 plus people finger my drink, I think I'd be pretty pissed off and throw the cup out. So people are now glasses of water. Because honestly, I would prefer if no one, including myself, puts their fingers in my glass. Like, unless my fingers are freshly washed. But I don't know when this other person washed their fingers last, which is why people in restaurants or bars only touch the glass at the bottom half when serving it, because the top half, where the customer drinks from, is like their half, you know, because people don't like it. But that doesn't mean hygiene isn't a thing, and that cleaning yourself up isn't a thing. But no, y'all are so convinced that your dicks reshape a woman permanently or something. Or like, what are you thinking? Why? What? I've seen married women stick with their cheating husbands all those years and they never left. What you don't know won't hurt you. This generation of women just love playing detective in relationships. Isn't him providing and giving you a home all a woman needs? Look at Gucci Mane's wife, for fuck's sake. Ah yes. The only important thing that a woman could or should want is having a house. First of all, a lot of people cheat without actually even providing a house. But just because you provide housing to someone doesn't mean you get to cheat and be an awful partner. Like, if you decide to be in a relationship with this person, you should be in the relationship and not just be like, well, I'm sort of in this relationship, but I'm also gonna cheat because I want to. Like, the more time passes, the more people I see who just don't know how relationships work and who are just incapable of having healthy relationships, and it's making me kind of mad. Not for women. It's an unpleasant and unenjoyable chore. Just be polite, don't grope, and finish as fast as you can, and men would probably get more duty sex. Nothing worse than a man grabbing and groping after a long day. I've only had unpleasant and unenjoyable sex when the men put in no effort. This doesn't mean all men do that or that all sex is unpleasant and unenjoyable, let alone a chore. I love sex with my partner and I've never once felt the need to have duty sex with him. I think you might want to consider that you, personally, just don't like sex and don't speak for women broadly. Since leaving my marriage, I've had sex a couple of times with a guy I was seeing that was enjoyable, but no, I do not like sex or being touched. I think the way most men approach sex is similar to my ex. There's certainly no enjoyment in it for the woman, and it's something we just get through. I don't know what's worse. Men not understanding women and just generalizing women, or women generalizing other women based on their own experience. Like, y'all are aware that people are different and that different people like different things. And that maybe that's okay if you personally just don't enjoy having sex. Then don't do it. Like, I know it might be difficult finding a partner who's okay with not having it or also doesn't want to, but just because you personally don't enjoy it and feel like it's a chore doesn't mean that's the case for all women. Just because a lot of men also stand here like, oh no, women don't get enjoyment out of it, they just do it because they have to. Like, maybe just don't overgeneralize gigantic groups of people. Maybe. Someone posted a couple of screenshots from a TikTok, and I'm glad we don't have the whole thing. Good girls still exist. 6 places you can meet them right now. The internet is the only place where every woman is a slut. Go out into the real world and you will realize there are still a lot of good girls. You don't see them on the internet because they don't exist on the internet, they exist in real life. 100% of women on the internet are ran-through girls, but they make up 2% of women as a whole, because the good girls keep quiet online, as they are submissive. Here are the best places to meet good girls. Number 2. Libraries. If she still has the attention span to read a book, there is a good chance she doesn't post her ass on Instagram. Opener. Comment about the book she's reading. I bet that's the 5th time you're reading that book. If she's completing some assignments, guess which college she's from. These people give me a headache. These people literally just give me a headache. What do you... Y'all are aware that someone can own their sexuality and read books. No, you don't. Okay, you really don't. Because you like boiling people down to one aspect and just be like, no, this one aspect, like you enjoy checking your ass on Instagram Reels, is the only thing you do, and that's it. You're not allowed to have other interests or passions or be smart, apparently. Why? And why are there so many people that think like this? I'm confused. And also, again, I want to say the math isn't mathing. Like, 2% of women, of the US population of women is online. And all of those women who are online and, like, regularly post are slutty. Okay. I don't know who you're following, because guess what? If you keep posting angry comments of, oh, I'm glad you're not my girlfriend, under scantily dressed women, then the algorithm is just going to show you more of that content. But you want to be mad at it. I'm very confused by these people, if you can't tell. Anyways, that's all the rubbish I can take for today. I hope you enjoyed me ranting, I guess. And I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe go drink something now. And I'll be back in a few days with my next video.